Hey guys, AJ here with another LibLab extra for you. Wait, hold on a second. Much better. I was lucky enough to get my hands on a Nintendo Switch, and I've been playing a lot of Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. It is amazing. In the game, Link can eat spicy foods to keep himself warm in a cold environment, and it got me thinking, could that really work? Let's find out. Well, the simple answer is yes. Hot peppers like this habanero contain a molecule called capsaicin, which is responsible for the sensation of heat we feel when eating spicy foods. The sensation of heat is the result of capsaicin interacting with sensory neurons in our tongue and skin. Specifically, capsaicin, which is in the vanilloid family, interacts with our subtype 1 vanilloid receptors, which can also be stimulated by heat. This tricks our brain into thinking we're feeling heat. As a result, we feel warm, we sweat, and in large concentrations of capsaicin, we feel pain. The sensation of heat has such a warming effect that when introduced to chili peppers in the 1600s, the Japanese put them in their socks to keep their feet warm rather than eating them. Now, my favorite thing to do with hot peppers is cook with them, because after all, what's cooking but edible chemistry? So, let's make some Legend of Zelda inspired food. So, since this is an episode about the science of capsaicin, I figured we should make something spicy. So how about Link's spicy meat and seafood fry? It's one of the first dishes you come across in the game, and the base recipe is pretty simple. Poultry, a fish fillet, and spicy peppers, at least based on the in-game picture. But since this is a LibLab, I decided to spice up the recipe and make it a little bit more exciting. And I really wanted an excuse to make chicken wings, so we'll start there. The first thing I'm going to do is butcher 2 to 3 pounds of chicken wings, because if you're going to make wings, you might as well make a mess of them. To do this, take your favorite knife, I'm using a chef's knife, and separate the wings at the knuckles. Kids, make sure to ask your parents for help with cooking before you get started. Now, if you're like me, you don't have a deep fryer just sitting around, so I'm going to use Alton Brown's method of cooking wings in the oven. There's plenty of fat in chicken wings for them to fry themselves anyway, and I find that this gives a much crispier wing. To do this, first, with the wings butchered, bring about 1 inch of water to boil in a steamer pot and place the wings in the steamer basket, leaving plenty of room to let the steam reach every surface of the wings. Steam them for about 10 minutes, and you might need to do this in a few batches. Steaming the wings is a good way to render off the fat so they don't burn later in the oven. Place your steamed wings on an oven-safe cooling rack lined with paper towels and pat dry before placing them in the refrigerator. This is going to remove moisture from the skin, ensuring nice, crispy wings later. Leave the wings in the refrigerator for at least 1 hour. Just put them in there and walk away. Trust me, it'll be worth the wait. After 1 hour, pull out the wings and replace the paper towel with parchment paper before putting them in a 425-degree oven for 40 minutes or until the skin is browned and crispy. Flip the wings every 20 minutes to ensure even cooking. While your chicken is frying itself in the oven, grab a small skillet and melt about 4 tablespoons of goat's butter over medium heat. Why goat's butter? Because it's the only cooking fat in Legend of Zelda, but it also has a nice cheesy flavor that will complement the rest of the flavors well. Once the butter is melted, go ahead and add in some ground chili peppers. I would say 1 teaspoon for mild heat, 2 teaspoons for medium heat, and if you're like me, 3 to 4 teaspoons for a nice healthy burn. Capsaicin is fat soluble, so sautéing the ground peppers will help pull out the capsaicin into the butter and distribute it through the rest of the dish. Heat everything over medium heat for 1 to 2 minutes before adding 3 cloves of finely minced garlic. Heat an additional 1 to 2 minutes or until fragrant before removing from heat and setting aside for later. Next, in a medium saucepan over high heat, combine 3 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, 2 habanero peppers with the seeds removed and finely minced, 3 teaspoons of freshly grated ginger, 1/4 cup of brown sugar, and 1/2 mango chopped. Mix to combine and bring everything to a boil. Once everything's boiling, move it to the back burner and reduce the heat to simmer to let it thicken. In another saucepan over high heat, combine 3 tablespoons of hoisin sauce, 2 tablespoons soy sauce, 1 tablespoon each of mirin and brown sugar, 3 teaspoons of freshly grated ginger, 1 teaspoon apple cider vinegar, the other half of the mango chopped, and 3/4 of the chili butter mixture from earlier, saving the last quarter for later. bring the mixture to a boil and reduce the heat to simmer on the back burner to thicken. After 20 minutes in the oven, give your wings a flip and put them back in the oven to continue cooking. Once the mango habanero mixture has had time to thicken and the mango has softened, add salt to taste as well as the juice of 1/2 orange, before blending everything with an immersion blender until you have a nice smooth puree. A note here, I'm actually adding salt even though it looks like I'm just mining it, and also you want to wait to add your orange late in the process to maintain a strong orange flavor so it's not overwhelmed by the sweetness of the mango. Set the mango habanero puree back on low heat to simmer and thicken a bit more. The goal is to get a nice glaze for the fish. Puree the hoisin sauce glaze as well to break up those large mango chunks and set it back on the heat. Once both sauces are thickened, take them off the heat and set them aside while we finish up the fish and chicken. To cook the fish, first grab your favorite cast iron and get it heating over high heat. While the pan is heating, salt and pepper your fish to taste. I'm using salmon, which may not be what you have at this point in Breath of the Wild, but salmon is in the game and it'll pair very nicely with the mango habanero glaze we made earlier. Once the pan is hot, add the rest of the chili pepper butter from before and put your salmon in. Allow the heat to do its thing until a nice crust has formed. After 3 to 4 minutes, flip your salmon fillets and pour on the mango habanero glaze. Reduce the heat to medium. With that done, take some aluminum foil and cover the salmon, letting it cook an additional 4 to 5 minutes. Which should give you just enough time to pull your delicious crispy wings out of the oven and toss them in the hoisin sauce glaze in a large bowl until fully coated. With everything cooked, start plating. Oh, I almost forgot. If you're like me, you like vegetables with your protein, so grab some mini sweet peppers and add them to your cast iron over medium-high heat. Salt and pepper to taste and cook until the skins begin to brown and blister, about 4 to 5 minutes. Add the peppers to your plate and serve. The only thing left to do is dig in. Now, I have to say, this turned out better than I had imagined. Everything smelled amazing, the wings were delicious, but the salmon stole the show. In fact, it was so good that I had to take a minute alone to enjoy everything. Well, there you go. Link's spicy meat and seafood fry. I have to say, this is absolutely delicious. Link really knows his way around a kitchen. Let me know what kind of video game foods you make down in the comments, and please like and subscribe for more from LibLab Extra. Thanks for watching.